Welcome to today's Explainer, everyone. I am absolutely thrilled you're here, because today we're doing a deep dive into a frankly crucial analysis of our modern economy. We are going to expose the hidden financial bleed happening right now in 2026. The world has changed so drastically over the last few years, and the ways we're being sold to have evolved right along with it. So listen, I want you to grab a metaphorical pencil, or a real one if it's handy, because we're going to do the math today and put a hard stop to these wealth drains once and for all. Here's our game plan for today. We're going to structurally audit your finances, starting with the new financial reality, then moving into low-intensity hemorrhages, tackling those heavy lifestyle anchors, breaking down the grand illusions, and finally, reclaiming sovereignty.
All right, part one, the new financial reality.
Okay, let's dive into this. The very structure of how products and services are packaged and sold to us, it has fundamentally shifted. We aren't just talking about your standard inflation where, the price of milk goes up a few cents. It is so much deeper than that. If you manage your money like in 2021, you are bleeding financially. And honestly, the scariest part is that you might not even realize it. If you're stuck in an old financial mindset, applying rules from 5 years ago to today's market, you're losing wealth simply because the rules of the game were completely rewritten while you weren't looking. We are officially living in the era of hidden charges and microsubscriptions. So what does that actually mean? Well, it's an entire economic landscape meticulously designed by corporate marketing to slowly, invisibly drain your wealth. Their ultimate goal here is to reduce your personal profit margin, meaning that gap between what you earn and what you spend, to absolute zero. They want literally every single dollar assigned to a fee, a subscription, or some sneaky surcharge before it even hits your bank account. Moving right along to Section 2, low-intensity hemorrhages. So these are those daily drains that honestly seem totally insignificant, but they literally represent the difference between actually investing and merely surviving. Let's look at food delivery apps. 5 years ago, this was an occasional treat, right? Today, it's a default habit for so many of us. Take out that pencil and do the math with me. You order a dish that costs $15 on the restaurant's menu, but by the time it actually reaches your door, bam, it's $28. You aren't just paying for food anymore. You're paying a delivery fee, a service fee, a high-demand supplement, and a suggested 20% tip.
So the crucial point is that 85%, you're paying an absurd 85% surcharge simply for the fictional convenience of not walking 10 minutes or cooking a simple meal yourself. If you are using these apps more than once a week, you are literally burning your savings capacity on the altar of temporary convenience.
And hey, speaking of food, what about fast food? It used to have this crystal clear value proposition. Sure, it wasn't the healthiest, but man, it was incredibly cheap and fast. Well, supply chain issues and operating costs have absolutely decimated that model. A standard combo meal is bordering on $20 now. Think about it. For that price just a few years ago, you were sitting down at a proper restaurant with a tablecloth. Fast food has completely lost its justification. It's no longer a cheap alternative. It's just a $20 residual habit. And then there's streaming. Talk about coming full circle. Think back to 2010 when we all joyfully canceled cable to get cheap Netflix. Fast forward to 2026, and the entire ecosystem is totally fragmented. To watch what you actually want, you need like 5 different services. They've shoved ads in, banned password sharing, and hiked up prices year after year. Having the full streaming combo today literally costs more than cable did in 2010. It is time to seriously practice digital minimalism. Paying for content you don't even watch just in case is basically just donating your wealth directly to tech corporations. And this brilliantly illustrates the whole buy now, pay later trap. This tool is everywhere now. You can finance a pizza or a t-shirt, but the real danger is how it completely tricks your brain. When you slice a single $100 expense into 4 $25 pieces, your brain literally stops registering it as a significant purchase. It shatters your perception of value and leads directly into silent over-indebtedness. Look, if you need to finance a t-shirt, you simply cannot afford it. Okay, Section 3, heavy lifestyle anchors. Now we're moving up the ladder from those daily micro habits to medium-term decisions. These are the heavy lifestyle anchors that secretly keep you tied down, sometimes forcing you to stay in a job you absolutely hate just to maintain some external image. Let's be real. Buying a brand new car right now is arguably one of the absolute worst financial decisions you can make. First, you've got that standard, brutal depreciation. But now, add rapid tech obsolescence to the mix. Modern cars are basically just giant computers on wheels, which means their software is completely outdated in 3 years. But want to know the most dystopian trap of all? Hardware subscriptions. So many brands now sell you the physical car, but then they charge you a monthly fee to activate the heated seats or the driving assistant that are already installed in the car you own. You are literally buying an object and then renting its functions. No way! Then we have the whole smartphone trap. I mean, do you really need the iPhone 17 or the absolute newest Samsung? We've pretty much reached a technological plateau. The actual performance difference between this year's model and the one from 2 or 3 years ago is a mere 5%. Yet people are happily dropping $1,400 for these incremental, barely noticeable updates. Try adopting the 3-generation rule. A 3-year-old phone gives you essentially identical productivity, but it keeps that $1,400 right in your bank account where it belongs, generating compound interest. And we definitely can't forget about status symbols. Listen, paying a 300% markup for luxury goods that have honestly degraded in quality just because they have a specific logo on them, you're basically paying a massive premium just to be a walking billboard for a billionaire's company. Combine that with going broke on totally forgettable Tuesday night dinners that now slap you with mandatory 15% service fees right on top of inflated menu prices, you're draining your wealth for nothing. In today's economy, true status isn't the logo on your shirt. It's financial intelligence.
Let's move to and see how this builds into part 4, the grand illusions. We've reached the top of the pyramid here, the monumental, life-altering financial decisions regarding how we celebrate our lives and how we travel. $40,000. In 2026, the cost of a standard wedding has skyrocketed to absolutely absurd levels. We are seeing couples kick off their matrimonial journey with $40,000 of debt for an event that lasts, 6 hours. The wedding tax is so real right now. The second you utter the word wedding, suppliers immediately double their prices.
Now, I really want to blow your mind for a second. Take that exact same $40,000 and imagine investing it at a fairly standard 7% annual return for 30 years. It becomes nearly $300,000. That is the true hidden cost of that 6-hour party. You really have to stop and ask yourself, is it actually worth sacrificing a fully funded retirement or a massive down payment on a home just to throw a massive party for people you might not even speak to in 5 years? Intimate, meaningful celebrations are the genuinely intelligent trend right now. And you see the exact same illusion with luxury travel. Booking an $800 a night hotel just for posturio, showing off for the Instagram aesthetic, is a total scam right now. People are paying first-class prices but receiving mass-produced, totally mediocre service simply because a hotel has an infinity pool that looks cool on a feed. The modern, intelligent traveler knows that real value actually comes from cultural disconnection, from staying longer in lesser-known destinations and finding genuine authenticity. Please do not pay for aesthetic luxury just to flex on social media. Which brings us to our final section, reclaiming your financial sovereignty. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the mindset shift it requires. Cutting out all these traps, the ridiculous delivery fees, the crazy hardware subscriptions, the overpriced status symbols, it isn't about being stingy. It is entirely about taking your power back. Financial stability isn't built by buying things, it's built by buying options. The ultimate luxury in life isn't a designer bag. It is having cash in the bank. Because money in the bank buys you the luxury to say no to a toxic job. It buys you the peace of mind to actually sleep soundly at night, and it gives you the optionality to jump on amazing investment opportunities the second the market dips. So here's my challenge to you. Grab that pencil, pull up your bank statements from the last 3 months, and take a hard, honest look at your spending. Which of these 10 traps is your biggest financial black hole? Don't try to fix the whole shebang at once, but start taking back your margins today. Drop a comment and let me know which trap caught you out. And hey, if you found this explainer valuable, make sure to follow along so we can keep our heads cool and our accounts hot. See you next time.